Hello and welcome to the September update from Clydebridge station. Now if you've watched the previous September video, which is really just a look at the new rolling stock that I've got on the layout, you might have just seen some things that have been done on the layout, and I'm going to go into detail with them in this video. So if you've got any comments, queries or suggestions about what I've done, then please leave them in the comments box at the bottom. And I will thank you in advance for watching. The first thing I'm going to go to is down here at the motorail bay. Video 11 of this series was showing you how I was going to model motorail, and this is a motorail ramp here. Now a gentleman called Portobello Junction made a comment in regards to that video, and he's absolutely quite correct in what he said. And you see how steep that ramp is there. If I just show you there's, and he thinks I need to actually bring the ramp out a bit, and he's absolutely right. So at the earliest opportunity I'm going to try and do just that, using probably car body repair filler to shape a much longer ramp with a less severe gradient on it, and also give me a chance to go and tidy this up here, because that really hasn't turned out very well, that. Now the paint's dried. So Portobello Junction, you're absolutely quite correct in what you said, and at some point we will get around to doing that. What I'm therefore going to now do is, I had previously said I would just have a small gap here and fencing round, but if the ramp's going to be longer, I'm now going to have fencing probably to about here, and then depending upon, you would get a gate that would swing out somehow, and probably have the entrance in there for the station, as well as one there, and a wall running along here at the platform. But I think that's how I'm going to have to turn around and do things now. But definitely that'll be the first thing I'll do in the near future with regards to this area, is obviously tidy up the motorail ramp. While we're down here at the buffer stops, you'll see that 4 of the 6 platform roads have got ballast laid on them at the platform ends. Platforms 4 and 5 are the only ones not so treated. Now at platform number 1, you'll see I've got some wee steps that are going down onto the track bed itself, and what I've done is I've got the proper actual ballast, and I've got the much finer ballast there. That'll form a sort of pathway along there. At the other end of the platforms, I'll be able to use that same thinner ballast as well, for the areas away from the track bed itself. You'll also notice that we've now got some signage, as I say, on the station itself now. These signs are actually from Sankey Scenics, and as I say, if you've seen my Instagram feed, you'll have noticed that we've got some signs there and there. I've also got them round the other side as well. You can just see there. I'll just lift this up and let you see it. So it gives the same sort of feel of the station being set in the late 80s era. I'll get some more brute trolleys at some point in the future as well, because they'll be necessary for the parcels trains as well. So that's where I've got up to with regards to this end of the layout. At some point in the future I'm going to buy some more ink cartridges so I can print off more platform surfacing, and we'll then get platforms 1 and 2 and the northern end of platform 3 done. Now up at the country end of the platforms, you'll see quite a few bits of pieces have been done. I've managed to get in at the point work in a couple of curves that's allowed me to complete this whole area here track wise, so that's all pinned down and in position, and I've managed to get some of the accessories on here. Now these are the dummy point motors that you get from Pico, and got them on these points here. I've also managed to lay some more cable trunking, as you could see, and it goes over here too. This is now glued down, this bit here, this wall. Oops, there we go. I'll need to get some more of that, but my local model shop was actually sold out of that at the time. And if I just zoom in there, you can actually see it. We've got the Clydebridge station sign attached onto it. Again, that's a Sankey Scenics one. I've done no work at all by the rugby ground here. I've just tidied up the sponsor's logo there, Wrangler, and I've also down on the track bed here put in the junction boxes, and these signal posts are now glued down. They have actually been checked for clearances beforehand, and I've got the walkway getting started here too. That bit's not glued down now, but I will have to adjust that in the future. This bit's not glued down, this bit isn't glued down. The reason for that being, what I'm going to do is I will get them glued down very soon. This bit I'm just need to actually get strips that go underneath there, but I'll sit round about there. This one's actually fine, so it can get glued down, and then I'll be able to start ballasting here, and once the ballast is down I can actually put the bit in the middle of the track there and again check for clearances. It'll get painted a dark brown or black colour. I'm probably favouring more something like dark brown or dark grey. But looking at the grey, I think maybe got too much grey in the light, so I'll probably go for a dark brown colour on that walkway there. It'll come then over this track and over here, and eventually come out just about here. The only thing I'll have to watch for is where I'm going to put the signals. That's going to be a major issue. And when I was looking at it, I have got the problem here of 3 tracks and quite narrow spaces. To such an extent, I'm thinking seriously about trying to construct or buy a signal gantry to get 3 signals across above the track. And obviously there would be 3 signals on the ground there. That's certainly what I'm looking at doing there. I've got a wee bit of while to think about it. But let me know what you think about whether I should go for a signal gantry or not. Now in the depot area, you can see we've got another left hand point here, and I've got a right hand point in. So this, the reception siding here is now pinned down. And this next siding, which is a holding siding, it's got new track on it too. It's complete, but it's not pinned down yet. It's not got the underlay below it. That will happen. There's not going to be a washing plant on this layout. Now, I had given it some serious thought to having a washing plant, but I'm not going to have one for the carriages now on this layout, because these are only going to be stabling sidings for the carriages. But I might yet have one here for the locomotives, but I'm not sure on that yet. What I will have though is the fueling point, which is going to sit round about there for the locomotives. And then the wee portable building will sit there. And I'll get some fuel tank, storage tanks at the back here. And the shaper sheet, I'm going to actually continue that right the way around here. And it'll start to come down to simulate the road above coming down as well and meeting up with the station road there. Staying with the depot scene, this is where we're up to as well, and you can see this has all been ballasted in here, cable trunking put in and cables put in, and you can see this is old Hornby fencing I had from when I was a bairn, and I've actually used that to make fencing to separate the depot bit from the main line itself, and I'm quite happy with how that's turned out. This is just coarse turf that I've put in here, and I've put a cable drum in there, and I've got a disused sleeper there, you can see there, from fresh track laying. Where the shunter is right now is actually just obscuring some of that, but if I can just show you there you go. And this whole siding has been laid, and the siding itself has been tested thoroughly with both this locomotive and a couple of Class 47s. I had some very fine orange ballast that I've used, glued it down, and I've painted it to grey to make it in a sort of rough walkway. Where I couldn't get the paintbrush in, as you could see, I've managed to do that instead and put some vegetation down. And there's a couple of bits landing on the track there, which I'm not too fussed about. I've also made some coarse turf there, and a wee walkway, is an overgrown pathway there as well. I'll need to try and maybe put a wee electrical substation in about here, but I'll need to try and make sure it will fit there first of all. But overall, I'm quite happy with how that's actually went and turned out. And there you go, you can see the shunter. I'll just stop that there. But the shunter usually just sit around there. Now the last bit that we're going to look at is actually up here at the town scene. And before I go into that, you'll be wondering how I've been able to get so much work done in the last month. I actually had a week's holiday just prior to the filming of this, so that's how I was able to get so much work done. My mum's hurt her back, so we didn't get out much. But we did get a couple of days out, and just say other times I've managed to get down here. Not only that, it is towards the end of the gardening season, so I'm just doing bits of tidying up when the weather allows me to. But anyway, on here to the town scene above, and you can see that I've extended this wall along here. It's got to be painted grey at the top, but that will come. And I've got some more, as you can see there, foliage put in there to simulate overgrowth, and that'll just carry on along there. I've also laid here a bit of the pavement for the next bit of the street scene. This Pickwick Books building will sit probably along at the end there, and I'll need to get some more low relief buildings for along here. Now for this end of the layout, I was originally going to dispose of this hairdresser's shop, but I'm not going to now, because a little ideas come to me. I'm going to set that about there, and this road will go round that way, and this bit here will actually be just a one-way street, and there'll be a no entry signs here. And what it'll do is it'll be traffic coming out of the station to get to the town, and then you could go either that way or straight along. Also, these road markings, which I rather crudely made, will get painted over, and I'm going to eventually get the 10 Commandments road markings and use them instead. And that will then mean that it'll all be much tidier, and this bit here will eventually be a mini roundabout. I'm going to get some more buildings, as I say, for along here. And I'm going to, for instance, I'm going to get another one of these, the accountants, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover that over on the next one I get and put in something else up. And I'm thinking of possibly a bank or building society, something like, say, the Anglia Building Society or the Royal Bank of Scotland, something like that. So it will have a real name, and I might use real names of the era at other parts of the layout as well on the street scene, like Vision Hire and the Co-op. So that's what will be happening up here. Now next month there probably won't be too much work done on the layout, as I'm back at work now, and because we're coming into the autumn, daylight hours are reducing, so it gets dark pretty quickly. And it therefore means that I won't get as much time to get down here, so there won't be as much work done. So progress will probably start to slow down a bit. Nevertheless, I will try and do a wee bit of progress every month for you, and hopefully Bachman and or Oxford Rail will have their coaches out that I mentioned in the previous video, and if so, I'll be able to do a review of them. So that's everything for the September update. As is usual, before I go, I'll like you to have a look at some other layouts that I've follow on YouTube or know about as well. Dean Park Station, of course, is from a guy called David Watson, who's in the next town to me. And he is actually, his latest video at the time of the filming of this is actually looking at the new Hornby Class 87 locomotive, King Arthur, in Intercity Swallow livery, identical to that. So do check that out. Dudley Central is based in the West Midlands, and coincidentally he too has just done a video looking at King Arthur as well. So check him out too. Ulton TMD, which supplied 47535 to me. That's a good layout to check out. He's actually called Rail Freight 37 on here on YouTube, but he's called Ulton TMD on Facebook. So do have a look at his layout. And Everard Junction has just bought a couple of bubble cars in Network South East livery, and he gives his own thoughts on them and explains a bit more about the history of them as well. So there's 4 layouts for you to have a look at And as I say, there will be quite a few more. And I must mention New Junction, who's giving us regular updates at the moment, so do check him out. And there's one in America, which is actually modelling itself on the British rail sectorisation era, but is actually lives in America, this gentleman, Rail. That's what it is on YouTube. And if you go on the internet and put into your internet search engine oorail.com, they've actually got a website as well explaining it all, so please check that out as well. I'm sure they'd love to hear from you. So that's all from the September update now. I shall be back here at the end of October to show what little or more lots of progress I've made. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching and for your comments, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye for now.